Welcome, my friends, to our Divine Destiny study today, and come follow me as we look into a new week, my friends. We're going to be looking at 1st and 2nd Timothy, Titus, and Philemon. And I'm telling you, my friends, this is a different setup than we've done in past weeks because the counsel that is in these letters may not have been meant for other people, but sometimes, my friend, that's where some of the best information is. Because we have Paul writing now to some friends, some younger friends who he has mentored, and that he's writing letters of advice to. And the thing I love about this, my friends, is he gives some counsel that is timeless. It's counsel that you and I can use throughout our lives to become better and to encourage others. That's two of the things that he does. He gives some counsel and he gives some encouragement. And my friends, what I learn in these, and as we look at these this week, see if you don't notice this. One of the most powerful things that you and I can do, and Paul is such an incredible example of this. Remember, all of these letters are being written. Why? Because he can't be there. Why can't he be there? Because he's in prison. That could stop and he could focus every part of his life on that. But as we have stated before, Paul chooses to see things differently. My friends, everything in my life and your life is not going to go the way that we would like every day. Think about that for a minute. There are rarely days that everything goes your way. In fact, I've often said that success isn't about waking up every day and having everything go your way. Success is about waking up and saying, my goals and dreams are more important than my obstacles. And I'm going to do my personal best today in everything that I do to be better and do better. And how do you do that, my friends? We focus on what we can do. To quote Elder Robert D. Hales to David A. Bednar, when you can't do what you've always done, you do what matters most. What matters most right now is Paul giving counsel and encouragement to Timothy, to Titus, and eventually we'll get to later in this week to Philemon. My friends, what can you do when you can't do what you want to do or you've always done? What matters most? You do what matters most. So my question is, what is that? What is it that matters most? Where can we look to determine what matters most in our lives? Well, I absolutely believe we can look at a couple of places. We can look at examples that we've been given, but we can also look at human nature. And what Joseph Smith said, and I've shared on numerous occasions, Joseph said, happiness is the object and design of our existence. Remember, that's why we came here. We came here to progress and become more happy. So if we want to be happy, how do we do that? Well, he says happiness will be the end thereof if we pursue the path that leads to it. Which path is virtue, uprightness, and keeping the commandments of God. So let's focus on the virtue and uprightness. My friends, the keeping it, they all come together. But I have found that what Paul is doing right here is what brings happiness. Paul is not writing to Timothy or to Titus, or even when he's giving counsel to Philemon, he's not writing and saying, today's a bad day. I've been in this prison cell for X number of days and they're not treating me very nice, or whatever. He doesn't talk about his life being woe. And my friends, I have found that all successful people, that's what they do. They don't focus on what's going wrong. They focus on what's coming up, what they can affect tomorrow. Look at the life of Christ as we've studied it in the New Testament this year. In all of the experiences where we've seen behind the scenes or we know what's coming up and people come to him with different experiences, he doesn't tell them about the last bad thing that happened to him. He focuses on them. He focuses on loving them. He focuses on encouraging them. So who encourages him? Well, my friends, we know that he's the Son of God. But my friends, he didn't just get that by appointment. Can I say that in a nice way that we will understand? Sometimes we write that off. Well, he's Jesus. He's the Son of God. He is, but so are you. You're a son or daughter of God. The reason that Jesus Christ became Jesus Christ was because of the extent of his choices. You understand that? And he invites you and I to become like him. The choices that he chose led him to the position of being the Savior. I'm not saying, my friends, that you and I are equal to the Savior. I'm saying that the plan of salvation suggests teaches and directs that you and I came to this earth to become like Christ, to become like God the Father and God our Mother, our Heavenly Mother and Father. How do we do that? As Joseph Smith said, faith, virtue, uprightness, and keeping the commandments of God. So, my friends, we focus on the things that Christ did, that people that he has as apostles do. They focus on loving and encouraging others when? When it's convenient? No, always, because it's a principle of eternity. It's a principle of righteousness that we give and love and serve and encourage always, as opposed to doing what? Remember, I shared with you a talk by David A. Bednar that he gave to the missionaries in the MTC in I believe, about 2011. He talks about the idea of Christ turning outward as opposed to inward. At some point, I will go through that whole talk and dissect it with you. But for today's purpose, I invite you to go read that talk. It will change your life. My friends, learn what Christ does when he turns outward to serve instead of inward to focus on ourselves. That's what Paul's going to do this week. In the midst of his challenges, he serves others. He lifts them up. Oh, I get excited about thinking about what the power that can come to your soul and to mine if we will follow these examples. My friends, the woe is me attitude that Satan wants you to have is not fun. There's nothing fun about it. Focus on the opportunity to become your divine self, your divine destiny and nature. It's in you. It's who you are. And this week, we're going to see glimpses and pieces of that come out as we study Paul's letters to Timothy, Titus, and Philemion. My friends, get excited. Make a decision to say this day and every day, I'm here in mortality at this time for a reason. I'm going to find out what that reason is, and I'm going to live up to it. I'm going to lock my arms side by side with the Savior and do all I can to defend truth and righteousness, because that's who I am. That's who I want to be, and that's who I'm going to become. My friends, have a great day.